This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, so there's quite a lot to talk about in this video, but I'm going to try and condense it down as much as I possibly can, because ordinarily this will actually be 3 videos worth with the 3 different subjects that's just recently come out over the last few hours. And what I'm talking about here is John Fury. He's come out with a 30-second video saying to Eddie Hearn to put up or shut up or stop talking about this fight with Tyson and Anthony Joshua. Get the date and venue sorted out in June, July, whenever it may be, and let's get it on. We'll take Anthony Joshua as the tune-up fight, so we'll talk about that in a second. A guy from Dubai has said that they have the funds. They are willing to put on Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua in Dubai. And lastly, Eddie Hearn says that the site deal, and he believes everything will be finalised, done, and then announced by the end of next week. So that's 3 different subjects, and for all 3 of those, you can find a link, source 1, source 2, and source 3, for all 3 of those, okay? Now, we're going to start off with John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad, where he says, only 6 days ago, he said that Tyson needs a fight or 2 before he gets into the ring with Anthony Joshua for what he said, in his own words, a colossal fight. So really, he was giving Anthony Joshua a lot of props, wasn't he? He was saying how pretty much he recognises that Anthony Joshua is dangerous, and for Tyson to beat Anthony Joshua, Tyson has to be active, he has to be on top of his game. Today, complete opposite to that. He's saying that Anthony Joshua can be the tune-up, but a tune-up to who exactly? So if Anthony Joshua is going to be the tune-up, who's going to not be the tune-up after? As we know, Joshua Fury is going to be a 2-fight deal. So is it a case of knock the cobwebs off in the first fight and then you see the real Tyson in the rematch? I don't really know how it is that John Fury is saying it. At the end of the day, it's all hype. It's all promotion. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, it's all hype, it's all promotion. That's exactly what it is. But I think that John is saying what he's saying. I think he's speaking out of reaction, because I do believe he's been given or getting a lot of stick for what he said 6 days ago about Tyson needing a warm-up fight. And for a lot of people, it did make it sound like Tyson wasn't confident of fighting and defeating Anthony Joshua. Now, there's different ways of looking at it. You could say how the inactivity of Tyson, right, firstly, if you look at, say, by the time this fight comes around in June or July, and according to Eddie Hearn, an announcement for whatever date it's going to be is looking for July. At what point in July, we don't know. And the country that I was told a few weeks ago, and I know I've mentioned this before, wasn't Dubai. It wasn't Dubai, okay? I will say that much. So if it turns out to be Dubai, then where I was told was quite clearly wrong, even though it was pretty much coming from the horse's mouth, although not directly as such. But it is what it is. Now, I think that John got a lot of stick for it. I think that they do want the fight. I think Tyson does want the fight. I know Team Fury in general are blowing a lot of hot and cold. Anthony Joshua, he hasn't really said anything about it, has he? But that's Joshua's style. He doesn't like to talk about things until things are done. We know the contract is signed, terms are agreed, literally just waiting on a day and venue. But that's nothing unusual. It is what it is, okay? But I think some people were looking at it, certainly from a perspective of, are you planting the seed? As in Team Fury, Tyson, John, whatever. Are you planting the seed? So if you lose to Anthony Joshua, well, there's your reason right there. Now, Team Fury won't come out with excuses if they lose to Anthony Joshua, okay? But they won't need to. They've already planted the seed. His fans, his fanatical fans, will say, well, he lost because he's inactive. That's what they'll say. If he beats Anthony Joshua, then the very same fans will say, well, he beat Anthony Joshua after all that time out of the ring. Imagine what he's going to do to him in the rematch now. That will be the whole narrative. It's very, very clever. They're playing the fans, okay? Why not? Why not? But the truth is, this fight will happen. For me, I have no reason in my mind to think that the fight won't. And yes, I do understand. And I am in bed with a lot of you when you say, but they can sign all the contracts they like. But if there's no date and no venue, there's no guarantee. Until we see them actually ring walk, touch gloves, and that bell goes, anything can happen. One of them could get injured. The site venue falls apart. The world goes into another stage of lockdown. Many different things could happen. I know people want to talk about the whole Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury situation with the arbitration and whatever else. But again, as Bob Arum said recently, and before then when I interviewed Bob Arum as well, which was, this isn't really about, for Deontay Wilder, this isn't about him wanting a third fight with Tyson Fury. No, this is about the hope that Deontay Wilder can get some kind of compensation, get paid. That's the best that he's hoping for, okay? That is what it is. That's all on Team Fury, okay? And again, we'll find out in time as to exactly what's going on with that one. But I think with the fact that Eddie Hearn is saying that next week, at the latest, end of next week, they should have everything secured, have everything in. Now, they may not announce it, they may not, but behind the scenes, everything should be done. They should agree on a date and a venue. But of course, where's it going to be? The place that I was told, listen, I don't know for sure if it's going to be there, okay? But ultimately, it's going to go to the place where it's offering the most amount of money. Crowd or no crowd, how much are you guaranteeing us? That's how it's going to come down to. Will it end up being here in the UK? Well, are the government going to fund it? I don't know. Should the fight be in the UK? Of course it should. Of course it should. We've never ever had two champions coming together where the winner walks out of the ring as undisputed on UK soil before. We've never had that. So of course, we would love that. That would be legacy right there, wouldn't it? That would be history defining. But who cares about history, all that kind of thing, when you could potentially get paid double the amount of money to go somewhere else, especially when we're talking millions. The difference between 40 or 50 million to 80 to 100 million, it's a bit of a head turner, isn't it? But it is what it is. So either way, so there's three separate subjects there. John Fury, last week he said that. This week he's saying this, that Anthony Joshua is the tune-up. It is what it is. I mean, if Anthony Joshua is the tune-up, then who exactly is there after that John Fury's thinking about that won't be the tune-up for Tyson Fury? Who is it that he's going to use Anthony Joshua to knock the ring rust off to then go fight? Is he thinking about Dillian White? Maybe. Is he thinking about Deontay Wilder? Maybe. The winner of Joe Joyce, Alexander Usyk? Maybe. I don't know. John Fury's going to have to clarify all that himself as to what his thought process is behind last week saying how giving Anthony Joshua respect, giving him the acknowledgement to say, yes, we recognise you're dangerous. It doesn't matter the fact that Tyson said before that he could beat Anthony Joshua with one hand tied behind his back and doesn't even need to train to do so. Well, since then, the only people who's been making any kind of excuses, shall we say, or maybe building up walls, or personally I look on it as hype. But the only people who are doing it is Team Fury. Anthony Joshua isn't saying anything, but yet some people out there are still writing comments that it's Anthony Joshua that's ducking. I'm not too sure where you're getting that from. Based on the facts that we have so far, I don't know where you're getting that from. But personally, I don't think Fury is afraid of Joshua, and I don't think Joshua is afraid of Fury. The fight will happen, I'm pretty confident, this summer. At some point in July, probably early July. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.